Welcome back to another episode of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Sean Noble.
I'm Chris Clements. What? Good day.
How are you?
Good day. A tree fell in our house.
Okay, I was waiting for you to talk about your travails.
Yes, my back is killing me. Oh my gosh.
You wrenched your back trying to pick up your tree?
So we have in my office, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. And it's like my kid's calling me, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm just like over in the other little house. And I walk across, and Campbell comes running out. She's like, Dad, the tree fell over. And we were decorating it and everything, and all of a sudden the thing just went, ooh, boom.
Boom.
And so I had to lift it up, and I threw out my back.
Were you just standing weird?
I think we're trying to put it back up and trying to angle it again and stabilize it, and I'm twisting and I'm holding and then all of a sudden later on that day, it was my left side, and then I was overcompensating so much with my left side that now my right side's all messed up.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah. So that's Merry Christmas.
Yes.
So I thought I went to the gym the other night, which is crazy, but that's what I do. And I thought I actually had stretched it all out. Like I got on this, our gym has this new pull-up bar machine, which is not where you're seated. It's where you're standing and you can really stretch. And I thought I'd gotten all the kinks out. I felt 100% better. Then last night, I'm like, my right side is bothering me now. Yeah. Because I've been protecting the left side.
That's right.
Yeah, we're old, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
listen to a bunch of old, grumpy old men.
Yeah, it does affect it. I mean, it does affect us more readily than when we were young.
Well, and I think what is true, regardless of our advanced years, you and I put our bodies through things that men, generations ago were not putting their bodies through. Maybe. I mean,
generations ago they were farming and working manual labor.
I mean, like even the 70s and 80s. I don't, when I look back at what my dad did or his dad did, there's no, I run 3 miles a day. No question. My dad, I got him in the gym like twice.
I think if whatever running my dad did, he did when he was in the military.
Yeah, exactly.
During Vietnam.
My dad was in the military, played football, and after that, he was like done.
Yeah. Beyond that, he was done. He played sports in high school, and he was in the military for 3 years, and that would have been the extent of. I mean, he did play a little bit of racquetball for a few years in the 80s.
Yeah,
but he wasn't in shape. I mean, that didn't.
Yeah, my dad played golf. I mean, he was an avid golfer, but like. I became a gym rat, I want to say like at 14, 15.
Yeah, I didn't.
And, even then I was a skinny little scrawny kid, but I loved lifting weights. I wanted to get better. I wanted to be a better athlete. And so I committed myself to that. And I would say now I'm putting my body through stuff I never did back then. It's just different. I'm more protective in some ways.
Different paths from the physical fitness standpoint. You've been physically fit pretty much your whole life, and I have not. I didn't really start to exercise in post high school until my mid 40s.
Yeah. See, I remember when my mom joined the old Pueblo Athletic Club, and I would go in there and use the machines. And I was really influenced by my uncle. My uncle, who was a sports writer in Los Angeles, was an avid weightlifter. And he hung out with guys like Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wow. And so he gave me, there was a documentary that was made in the 70s called Pumping Iron. And he gave me like the book. And I just became really, not obsessed, but I was a scrawny, skinny kid. I was that kid, kick sand in their face. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to start doing push-ups and pull-ups. And then I read about Herschel Walker and how he never lifted a weight. And he just did all these push-ups and pull-ups. And to this day, the staple of my workout are Bosu ball push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. That's really, actually, in your advanced years, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all you need to do.
Yeah, it's not
get on the treadmill, do push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups, make that the anchor of your workout. And then whatever machines, whatever everything else you feel like doing, that's great. Yeah. It's just icing. But if you can do 100 push-ups, interval-wise, on a Bosu ball fully and still do at least 4 or 5 pull-ups at your advanced years, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah. Way ahead. Most people.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to try to do later to work out all these kinks.
Yeah. So speaking of advanced years. Trump hosted the Kennedy Center Honors.
Yes.
With some older performers.
Gloria Gaynor.
Let's go and roll that.
Household names from the music and film industries are being recognized at the 48th Annual Kennedy Center Honors. Our Julie Donaldson has more from the event.
We're at the red carpet at one of the premier events in Washington, D.C., the Kennedy Center Honors. Now, it celebrates some iconic figures and their contributions to American culture. So, of course, we talk to all the celebrities coming down the red carpet, but since you're in Washington, D.C., you have to talk to a few politicians as well. And, of course, President Donald Trump making an appearance himself.
This is the greatest evening in the history of the Kennedy Center. Not even a contest. There's never been anything like it.
The president took over as chairman of the board for the Kennedy Center, claiming it was deteriorating and says they are already making improvements.
It could never be built again. It's got 3 massive places, call them, where you have different stages, dance, theater, and you have a place that we're going to be in tonight that there's really nothing like it in the country.
Trump was also heavily involved in selecting this year's honorees, featuring Sylvester Stallone, known for writing and starring in Rocky, playing Rambo, and Dwight the General in Tulsa King, and the rock band Kiss, celebrating over 50 years of elaborate performances.
Every day has been amazing. America, we invented the superhero, rock and roll, blues, movies, everything that makes the world a happier place.
I never thought, I'm a kid from the streets of Brooklyn, I never thought ever I'd be, doing something like this.
The night also celebrates Grammy Award-winning disco icon Gloria Gaynor. Her song, I Will Survive, a theme song for so many. Country music legend George Strait, who has 60 #1 hits, and Michael Crawford, the Tony Award-winning actor best known for originating the role of Phantom of the Opera.
I think it's a huge honor. I mean, really, there's no bigger honor, honestly, to be celebrated by this group of people. This is a celebration based upon the admiration of the entire country and by your peers. It's an extraordinary thing to get this honor.
It's remarkable, and what a way to start the holiday season, being here with all these icons. And, I grew up listening to Kiss, the band, but I love Michael Crawford. There are so many, and George Strait. So Gloria Gaynor, come on, just amazing icons of music.
For the first time ever, a president will be hosting.
So that was the Kennedy Center. So you'll actually be able to watch that on December 23rd.
Well,
I think it's going to be on ABC.
Is it? That's good. He came in and he fired everybody.
Yeah.
And then it was revealed who did he hire to take over?
Richard Grenell.
Yeah, Rick Grenell went in there, and all of a sudden Rick Grenell is hitting the talk show circuit, talking about how there was a massive grift going on at the Kennedy Center, and how money was being mismanaged. And then the place was just, as our fair president said, was a dump.
Yeah.
Like they had let it go so much. And so much of what they've been doing is just trying to get it back up to par in terms of what it represents to the country.
Yeah.
And so my understanding is that he was intimately involved in selecting every single nominee, including Kiss.
Yep.
And Gene Simmons was not shy. I guess he's testifying in front of Congress too this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gene Simmons is on oh, yes, it's on a copyright bill that is before the Senate, and it's to make sure that if your song plays for like a minute on radio, that you get compensated.
Okay.
Which is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And it's a good bill. He's testifying, and he was on the red carpet talking about Israel, and talking about we need to support Israel and how the president is right in doing so.
So that you'll be able to watch that, folks, if you'd like. December 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central on CBS.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to honor Sly.
I don't know.
Sly Stallone,
Yeah.
Rocky, Rambo, The Expendables. Have you seen those movies?
Yeah.
They're great.
Shifting gears.
Okay.
Pretty significantly. Let's talk about. So we talked a couple episodes ago about the fraud that's happening in Minnesota.
It's unbelievable.
Tim Walz. We did a hot take on that. That has not only is that blown up, that clip has been seen by tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a lot of feedback on it. The issue itself has blown up.
Oh, it's gone from 1 billion now to they're estimating 8 billion.
Which is, I mean, when I was 1 billion, I was like, because we're talking about one state.
I was listening to the outlays they had for different quote unquote programs. And I just caught the beginning of this interview with Walter Kern on Megyn Kelly's show. And they're saying that, so like for a program like autism, where they had allocated, and this is not an exact number, but like $3 million, ballooned to $500 million.
Oh, gosh.
And none of that money went to autism.
Right.
In Minnesota. It all went to these NGO, nonprofit groups to funnel money, apparently to
Somalia. Yeah.
And to Somalia.
When I was thinking,
And guess who's at the center of it all?
well,
Not just the governor.
resident Somalian congresswoman,
Yes.
Ilhan Omar. So let's see what she has to say about this.
So this was, just for our audience, the Biden-era
She's
Justice
very
Department
nervous.
called it the largest COVID fraud scheme in the country. And this was pocketing COVID-era welfare funds, more than $1 billion in taxpayer money that was stolen. It was pretty shocking. Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent. And that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also as Minnesotans, as taxpayers, really upset and angry about the fraud that has occurred.
Mm-hmm. So do you think, though, that there was a failure by the Democratic state government to police itself? This is a brazen, fraudulent activity here.
Yeah, and that is what I alluded to in my letter that I'd sent to the Secretary of Ag, was to see where things were going wrong. How can this amount of money disappear fraudulently without there being alarms being set off? And it is something that, we have to continue to investigate. We have to continue to ask those questions.
So let's
How could such a thing?
How could this possibly happen?
Happen to the Somalis when I am the Somali? I speak for the Somalis.
She knows the answer to the question. The answer is that the Democrats have their whole construct is raping taxpayers.
Raping, that's a strong word.
Fleecing.
Okay,
fleecing. All right.
Fleecing, yes. And apparently the Republican legislature has been screaming about this for years.
Yeah.
And we saw that with the speaker,
the speaker
last
of the House
week on the clip that went viral.
So we've been doing this for years.
And so you can't, it begs the question, what did she know and when did she know it? And I think we're going to find out a lot of what she knew.
Yeah.
Along with Tim Walz.
Well, Tim
And
Walz,
that's the most insulting thing of all. Here's a guy who was a heartbeat away, could have been a heartbeat away from the presidency.
Yeah.
Not 1 billion, $8 billion of fraud.
Complete fraud.
And have been going on for years.
4 years. Yeah. Under his watch. I mean,
And
it's
he didn't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a break.
All the Republicans are saying he knew all of it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the question remains, with this Justice Department, with this FBI, will heads roll? Will people be arrested? Will there be accountability? I don't know.
I don't know.
We're not seeing it.
Well, we'll give the Trump administration a chance to really dig in. I mean, obviously, they've got a lot to unwind. The fact that they've realized this is not $1 billion, but could be $8 billion is a good step in the right direction of understanding.
Well,
but
even
boy,
the New
that's
York
horrific.
Times is turning against the fair Democrats
Well,
in Minnesota.
Look, this is
with some decent reporting, but
completely
gosh, you're 4
unexcusable.
years too late, obviously.
Yeah. So, folks, this continues to be a huge albatross on Tim Walz
and a failure of the Fourth Estate. How does a guy like Tim Walz run as a vice presidential candidate? This has been happening in the state. It's well known within the state, apparently, and none of that is vetted.
None of this was reported on. Is he up for re-election?
Yes, he is.
Is he running for re-election?
Yes, he can run for a third term.
Well, I kind of feel like
that's
this is what you would say a deal breaker.
But we'll all go down together.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Speaking of going down together, there's as we have alluded to on this podcast in previous episodes, there's a bit of a right wing war going on. I guess that's the way I could say it. And at the center of this, obviously Tucker Carlson is a part of this with the whole platform.
Tucker's been making the rounds trying to defend himself. It's been really interesting. He's been on Ryan's show. He's been on a lot of people's shows.
And then you've got Candace Owens, who's just been making crazy comments.
She's a lunatic
about Turning Point USA.
It's what she is saying is absolutely disgusting.
And proof.
She's acting like a woman scorned.
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
But here's proof of how off the rails she's gone. When you have someone who I believe is crazy, going off about her being even crazier, something's gone crazy. So this is Tim Pool.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Tim Pool is, and many of you won't because you don't get into the underbelly of I don't know.
Is he even a conservative?
I don't know.
More libertarian.
There's
a lot of guys whose shows blew up during the last election because they kind of came over to the conservative side, but they've not been traditionally conservative.
And also he's at a network. Tim Pool and others are at a network that was funded significantly by Russian money.
Yeah.
Now he denies it.
Oh no!
Was it Benny Johnson? Was he one of the others?
Benny left though, right?
Did he leave?
Yeah, I think he left.
So the fact that he left tells me that there's more, and Tim didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some nefarious. Well, there's accusations of nefarious activity. But anyway, all that said, check out what Tim Pool has to say about Candace Owens.
If this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed. Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt.
Oh.
She is burning everything down.
Can we say
and
that
she's
on this
gloating and
podcast?
smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was
I'm fucking done with these people.
He's a little bit angry. But
well, I mean,
he's
good
right.
for him.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
You've got people who've been associated with Candace Owens, including somebody like Brandon Tatum. They keep dancing around the issue of what she's doing. They're like, oh well, I've been friends with Candace and whatever. It's like she's accusing Erica Kirk of murdering her husband. She's accusing the Israelis of murdering Charlie Kirk. She's accusing of
the French Legion.
Just
did you hear that one?
I did not hear that one.
Yeah.
But she's accusing anyone and anyone of having a conspiracy to kill Charlie, and it's insane. The whole thing is crazy. As many rabbit holes as she's wanting to go down, for him to react that way, I don't blame him. Did she attack him too? She's attacked everybody else.
Yeah, she has, and one of the things that part of the problem. So she has attacked him, and he said so. You heard him mention something about how she doesn't have security, and he was very worked up. He's had many death threats recently, and actually there was gunfire towards his home.
I saw something about that. Yeah,
a few days ago, and
he was okay.
So he's had to up his security, and it is a sad state of affairs when we have people in public who literally have to get security.
Yeah,
not just elected officials, but commentators and others. But yeah. Candace Owens, I am horrified by the things that she accuses people of, and I
came out. I saw this, I think last night, maybe 2 nights ago. Like, she's accused all the different pastors who were around Charlie, and kind of teaching him. They were teaching pastors, and she's come up with this whole thing about how the Calvary Church Network is somehow affiliated with the military. And I'm like, what? Like Greg Laurie is like a military plant because he has an open door with the president. The whole thing is nuts.
I mean, what is
Frank
the most...
Turk is a military plant. He's part of the military.
What's the most maddening part?
He was there, and he let Charlie die.
Yeah, I mean, she's made all kinds of crazy accusations about.
But the truth is that she and Charlie had some kind of falling out several years ago. She was sort of excommunicated. She wasn't in his inner circle anymore. Right. She wasn't doing things for Turning Point. She was doing Blexit a little bit, but not really, and which was a notable thing at the time. She and Brandon kind of came up together with Charlie, and then something blew up. That's not. I don't know if that's even clear as to what happened between them.
I mean, we don't know. So, but the point is that she
wasn't at the funeral.
She's decided that rather than, I mean, the only thing I can assume is that she loves the clicks, and she's making a lot of money
clicks
off
and coin.
of it. And so she knows that the more outlandish she is, the more clicks, the more attention. I mean, look, we're talking about her, but that's that. There is no other explanation.
Yeah.
Other than you go so far, you're like, oh, I got to keep that going. So I got to go a little bit further, and then I got to go a little bit further. It's why, folks, I mean, we may bore you, but we're never going to say things just to stir the pot.
Well, we've always called out. We like to call balls and strikes, I think. And the clicks and coin albatross of podcasting and the internet.
Elected officials.
And officials. I mean, we've called out Matt Gaetz on that and other people on that. Even
Taylor Greene.
Yeah, MTG. She's all about clicks and coin. That's all she's doing. She's leaving Congress to go make money.
Right.
So it's obvious. She has to go make money. Okay? Her divorce wasn't as lucrative as she thought. Maybe.
I don't
know. Tantric sex is not what she thought it would be.
Yeah.
With her trainer back in the day. I don't know. I just know what I read. It was there in the page.
Yeah. Anyway,
she separated from her husband because of some kind of thing with her trainer early on. Yeah. And then she got elected and they stayed together. And I'm sure
but they're not together now. Right?
No, I'm sure she got sucked up like a lot of public officials do in the D.C.
Well,
I wouldn't even call it.
It is the problem, and this folks, I beg of you, when you look at somebody running for office, really examine whether they're running for office because they want to represent you and they want to do the job, or are they doing this for fame and attention.
Yeah, they're doing it for the book deal
Because
later on, and
the
to
fact-
go on Fox News and to go on News Nation and do all these things and to create a viral internet presence so they can make money.
Yeah. So the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene realized that she could not win her reelection because of her separation with Donald Trump and the fact that he unendorsed her, she then resigns her seat
Yeah.
midterm, tells you everything you need to know about how serious she was about being an actual member of Congress.
Zero.
Seriousness.
Zero. Yeah. It was all
So,
about clicks and coin for her.
Don't
It's all about celebrity.
reward that kind of behavior.
It was all about made up celebrity, and $174,000 just ain't going to pay the bills.
No.
Well, and that's why you have a lot of, I'm glad we're having this discussion because it's an interesting discussion of the culture of Washington, which is you have a lot of people who just go up there and that's what they want to do. They want to be, they buy their little condo and they're part of the circuit. They're making the circuit. They're going to all the big fundraisers and they're going to all the K Street events. And somehow they leave Congress much wealthier than when they went in.
Which I still haven't really figured out. I mean, I don't fathom it because my personal experience with the members of Congress who I knew personally and knew well, it just wasn't the case.
Yeah, the guys who are sleeping in their office on the couch or have in the case of one of our fair congressmen back in the day, had a mattress in his window.
Yeah.
They are making money.
No, I mean, John Shadegg, the member of Congress that I know the best because I worked for him for 14 years, left Congress less wealthy. I mean, he was never wealthy, but he left Congress with a lower net worth than when he went in.
Oh, yeah.
Because he took a pay cut from his law practice to become a congressman and lived on that salary for 16 years because he was 16 years. So that was a diminishing returns because they didn't have
because they don't
increases.
They don't do raises.
And people like Pete Hoekstra, who I knew very well, did not make any money being a congressman. He was a successful business guy, and got out of Congress and did some lobbying and consulting. He's now the ambassador to Canada.
Poor guy.
I think of people like Matt Salmon.
Yeah.
He didn't come out. And he went to Congress and made less money than he had going in.
He's come out and created a lobbying practice and government affairs, and
they
do what they have to do.
If you do the job the way you're supposed to, then you're a public servant.
Yeah,
you're not getting rich and getting famous. I mean, it's bizarre.
Well, that's why it's always so interesting, and when people call you or call me, and they're like, "I'm running for Congress," and they give us the 20-minute Fox News speech about what they want to do for the country. And it's like, you're one of 435. You're not going to do any of that. So it always says to me precisely the opposite, that you're going to Congress because you want to be clickbait.
Yeah.
You want to create a new career. You want to create a new media sensation of yourself. And I'm always paying to ask, no, what do you want to do for your district?
Right.
What do you want to do for your constituents? What are your constituents' concerns? Yeah. The district that you're running, you're not running to represent all of Arizona. You're running to this little, unless you're like Crane, you've got this massive district. Yeah. District.
Or someone like our next topic, Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem was a congresswoman from South Dakota.
Yes.
She was
nice segue.
She did a pretty good job as a congresswoman. Then ran for governor, won South Dakota, and then became, kind of inexplicably, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
And I say inexplicably because she was not on the transitions list. Let's put it that way. Howard Lutnick did not have Kristi Noem on the list of, like, when he was putting together the list of different cabinet secretaries.
Are we actually going to go there?
Kristi Noem was not.
You're making me have to say things that I wasn't prepared to say on a family podcast, but we just had Tim Pool on, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, it just.
Well, who do you think elevated her name?
I
don't know.
Well,
a guy named Corey. Sorry. Oh, it's about to fall out. Guy named Corey.
So here's what we know based on reporting by Jonathan Karl, who just came out with the book, Retribution. Actually, a pretty decent read.
Okay.
And Jonathan Karl has written a number of books because he's
ABC
known,
News.
Yeah, he's covered Donald Trump for more than 30 years.
Yes.
He covered him when he was at the New York Post when, back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so he's written, I don't know, 4 or 5 books about Trump, and all of them very well sourced. I mean, Trump has a love-hate relationship with Jonathan.
Yeah.
He in the audio version of the book, he actually has recordings. He instead of just writing you hear Donald Trump's voice on on telephone calls or when they're meeting. Anyway, apparently, according to Jonathan Karl, what Trump told him was that it was the only ask Corey Lewandowski made was for Kristi Noem to be Department of Homeland Security.
And why would Corey make such an ask? I would wonder. Well, it's not like they're married or anything.
No. Nope. I think he was a consultant for her.
Oh, consultant. Is that what we're calling him?
I don't know because I know Corey, but I've not asked him. Not going to. Not my business. But
not
the
my
point
business,
is,
but I mean, they've been seen together.
Lots.
But
the point is, there is a rift between Kristi Noem and Tom Homan.
Oh.
And it'll be interesting to see.
I guarantee you
I have heard, I had heard last week that a couple folks were like, I don't know that Kristi Noem is long for this job. And then all of a sudden, you saw news reports about she might get pushed out of her
I
job.
never understood why she was nominated from the first place.
And
other than the fact that she probably needed to get out of South Dakota, because things both personally and professionally were sort of crumbling.
Maybe. Anyway,
the whole Corey thing has been there for years, and I think it's totally true. I know people who have seen them together.
Okay. Well, all right.
Regardless.
So here's Kristi Noem. There was reports that she was going to get ousted, and so she has a reaction to it.
Former South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is denying a recent article claiming that she could be replaced as Homeland Security Secretary. A spokesperson with the White House recently responded, calling it, quote, fake news. Here's how Noem responded when asked about the possibility of being replaced by the president.
No, I don't have any indication of that. The president is fantastic. I'm very proud every single day to be able to work for him. I will serve at the president's pleasure, which I'm very grateful to get to do, and he gives me a wonderful opportunity to do a job that matters for the safety of the American people.
Secretary Noem went on to say that her focus is on getting violent criminals out of the country and that she's so grateful that President Trump is focused on making sure that the people in this country are safe.
Yeah, good for her. So we'll see. But
I
guess who?
I just don't understand
guess
why
what
she has that
name is
position.
being floated as her potential replacement?
I wouldn't know.
Glenn Youngkin, who will be out of a job come January because he's one. In Virginia, you can only serve one term as governor.
Yeah, don't you think he should run for Senate at some point, like everybody else?
Well, maybe, but is there a Senate seat up?
Well, I mean, he's got a couple years. Right?
Yeah, but he could be the Secretary of Homeland Security then.
He could be a lot of things.
He's
a very talented, intelligent.
He is,
individual, regardless of party or policy.
This would be
else.
The upgrade on just experience and management would be tremendous.
Oh, completely. And visually as well.
This is one of the most consequential. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say this, I'll give you, so we're going to go do a little history lesson on Department of Homeland Security. For those that are younger, you may not know that the Department of Homeland Security is actually a fairly new department in the federal government. Came about after 9/11. And before that, you had the Justice Department, which a lot of things were under. You had, all the immigration stuff was under the Justice Department at that point, right? And Secret Service and all that.
Secret Service was under Treasury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then George W. Bush, not super happy about this, created the Department of Homeland Security. And
whole nother ballooning bureaucracy.
And this was the monster of all agencies. The only agency that comes, that is bigger is Department of War, Department of Defense, as it should be. But this was, in my mind, a travesty. The creation of the Department of Homeland Security was a travesty because it created a mammoth department in which the fraud and abuse can go unchecked.
Well, and the control, the viable charge of control over the American people, is real.
Yeah,
and it's for as much as it's been very successful in some areas, but it has been not so successful in others.
And
it is an albatross now.
It is, and I think. I mean, you want to doge the federal government? Break up the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, I think that's long overdue.
Put that back.
Put Secret Service back at Treasury.
Yeah.
My gosh, they were so much more effective.
Obviously.
Yeah, they had a better
They've
charge.
had
and
serious problems.
Ever since they've been, you're absolutely right. I mean, just take that as a purest example.
I mean,
and how many of you actually feel safer flying with TSA?
No.
You don't. I mean, respect what they do, but
I mean, the problem is that we created a situation in which all we did was piss people off.
Yeah, we just federalize everything. That's what people think, and that's not what we believe.
Yeah. So I would love for someone like a Glenn Youngkin to go in and say, you know what? If we can't break it up, we're going to streamline it.
Yeah.
And start to pull back on some of this BS because that's. I mean, you talk about weaponization of the Justice Department.
Yeah.
People have, I mean, there's all kinds of nefarious things the Department of Homeland Security can do against U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
Guess where the no-fly list comes from?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ask Tulsi Gabbard about that. I mean, folks.
That is true.
A government big enough to hand you anything you want is big enough to take everything away.
Absolutely.
And, if we're going to be consistent in our philosophy about personal freedom, then we have to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
And the Department of Homeland Security was a travesty put upon on the American people by a Republican president and a Republican House and Senate.
Yeah, it is an albatross. It was an attempt to along with things done with the national security, NSA, and everything else. I mean, attempt to combine things for better cooperation, collaboration, understanding of the threats, against America. But what it's become is just this massive government overreach.
That's the thing. I mean, when the assassination attempt on Trump happened, and I heard stories about part of the reason that they couldn't figure out what to do about this guy was that there was not operability in communications on the radios. That was one of the first things that the Bush administration said we're going to fix with Department of Homeland Security is we're going to have complete, seamless communication across all the agencies that mattered. They didn't even have seamless communication within the Secret Service on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah. You're telling me that's a success? I mean,
well, the Secret Service, like I said, is a glaring example of what is not working.
It's not working. And it's tragedy. And
that's consistent. That's consistent across multiple administrations at this point.
What I can't get over,
not just Republican.
What I can't get over is Obama and then Biden both served as president, both trashed George W. Bush over taking us into pointless wars. Okay, agreed. But they did nothing to undo the Department of Homeland Security creation, which was way worse in the long run than going into doing the wars.
I saw a quote by Ronald Reagan the other day, and I'm paraphrasing, but principle over politics should always be the guiding light. And if you operate under principle, you're going to be doing things for the people.
Yeah.
But if you operate under what's politically expedient, you're going to do things, for the government, for what's politically right in your mind or the polling or anything else.
Right.
And at that point in time, being fresh off of 9/11, the way Obama was, he said he was going to do a lot of things. Obama's claim to fame is droning 3,800 people, some of which were Americans. And he was very proud of that. And we're arguing in Congress over the last 2 weeks over blowing up some narco terrorists.
Yeah.
And going back for the kill shot.
It's ridiculous.
What are we doing?
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
2 weeks of talking about narco terrorists wanting to kill your children, and we're talking about who gave the order?
Yeah.
That's unlawful, Senator Kelly? Right.
Give me a break.
We're
going to skip the letter grade because that seems boring. So,
no,
because this is so we're going to go to we're going to
so glad that you were in charge today of the hot takes. Usually I'm throwing stuff out.
We're going to showcase
because I would have something in here about Notre Dame, but you didn't do that.
That's fine. We're going to showcase something that Glenn Beck did. Glenn Beck decided he was going to lean in on AI, and he created an AI George Washington to interview.
Oh wow!
So we're gonna watch a little preview of this, and I love it. I mean, for those of you who are not watching on video, please like and subscribe on YouTube and watch, or go to the Star Worldwide Networks and watch, because this stuff is fun when you can see the visuals, right? Yeah. It's much better. But you'll get this because this is mostly audio. So let's listen to Glenn Beck interview George Washington.
George, we have programmed a lot of information and given you a lot of information on what's going on in today's America. Based on your writings and the writings of the rest of the founders, what is it that you feel is the biggest problem, or where we should start to fix things?
If I may speak plainly, my countrymen, the greatest danger to our republic lies not in foreign arms or political faction, but in the decay...
May I just interrupt you for a second? Could you just dumb it down just a little bit?
Okay. I do have 29 points, and they're all referenced to exactly what we said in the past.
For this, just speak in today's language.
Okay. I get it. Let me speak to Americans. If I'm honest, America's biggest problem isn't political or economic. It's all moral. We've drifted from the virtues that make liberty possible in the first place. Freedom. To be free, you have to have discipline. You have to have faith. You have to have character. And if you don't have any of those things, laws can't stop anything. They mean little. Government turns either weak or oppressive. You have grown skeptical of truth. You're reckless with debt. You're comfortable blaming instead of building anything. And in my time, we understood that self-governance begins with self-control. Do you even recognize what self-control is? Public virtue matters more than public opinion. You keep electing these people, expecting things to change, but you haven't changed. The fix is not going to be found in Washington, D.C. It's going to be found in every home, every school, every heart. Where are the citizens who value duty over comfort, principle over popularity? America was built to be a moral and self-governing nation. It's only that foundation that will still save her.
Isn't that great?
Amen. Amen to that.
If that's
the constant struggle.
If this is an insight into what AI can provide for us, I love it.
I love that first part. Dumb it down.
Dumb it down. Well, and it does.
Language.
I mean, look, that was AI, folks. I mean, this wasn't a scripted thing. This was Glenn Beck using AI, and that was the AI interacting with him. I mean, that's how sophisticated this stuff has gotten. It's literally a conversation that you can change on a dime.
Yeah.
George speak to me in Spanish. Boom, it would happen.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? I mean, it's just that, folks, there's lots to be concerned about when it comes to AI, but it's here. And the best thing we can do is try to understand it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And utilize it
It's
in
a
ways
tool.
to
It can be a tool.
to make our life better.
And it can be a tool used for goodness or badness.
Yeah, and there will definitely be lots of badness.
Yeah.
There's no question.
It's like anything else. Any new technology, anything that
I mean,
comes along
just look at
that's
the internet.
transformational.
The internet was transformational, made people, there are a lot of people that got rich from it, a lot of people that their lives were better for it, and it has created a tremendous amount of problems.
Well, it's the number one money maker on the internet is OnlyFans. There
Is
you
that
go.
right?
Yes, it's bigger than NVIDIA. You see that?
You got to be kidding
No,
me.
no. In terms of revenue, in terms of market
I
capitalization,
did see-
OnlyFans is bigger than NVIDIA. That speaks to exactly to what he just said.
Yeah.
The culture is decrepit.
Yeah.
The culture is decrepit, and as long as the culture continues to slide, the
I mean, I
country
guess
will
that's true
continue to go under.
because the, I did see a headline about how there's
It's
more
crazy.
more revenue that goes to OnlyFans from Long Island than
From
multiple.
New Jersey is what I saw.
Well, there's from Long Island. This stat was Long Island. More revenue going to OnlyFans from Long Island than like all of Central Europe.
That speaks exactly to what the AI George Washington was speaking about. That unless we are a country based on the foremost principles of faith, freedom, free enterprise, with family at the center, we will cease to be a country.
Yeah. Well, and he really was. I mean, talk about timeless advice.
Cease to be a people.
There was a strain of Reagan's final speech about the importance of freedom, and it's one generation away from being lost. And the only way to save it is for parents to sit down at the kitchen table and teach their kids.
Yeah,
and that's
very true.
That's exactly what AI George Washington was saying.
Yeah. Faith, freedom, free enterprise, ladies and gentlemen, the founding principles of our fair republic.
Teach your children.
And
it
teach them well.
may save our country. It's the only thing that will save our country.
It will. It takes. I think it takes parents taking a look at themselves, taking a look at their communities, being investing in others, not just yourself, investing in other people, what their needs are, what their cares are.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're going to change the country.
Good New Year's resolution for people to be thinking about in
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks as we get close to the to the
What's
new year.
what's going to be your word of the year, ladies and gentlemen? What is that thing that's going to guide you?
Yeah,
for 2026. Let's start
We'll-
talking about those.
We'll come
things.
back to that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
God bless. Thank you
Take
for
care.
listening.
See you.